scrapyard, where the iron meets the dust. We are the children of the discarded, born to fight and never rust. Steel hearts and broken dreams, we rise from the ashes, scream. In this wasteland we unite, our spirits burn in the dead of night. Rust in rebellion, we're forged in fire. Scrap metal soldiers rising higher through the chaos. We find our way, punk rock anthems, night and day. With jagged edges and a rebel's heart, we carve our names into the dark. In the ruins of the past we stand, every scar a mark of our defiant brand. We don't bow to the system's chains, our souls are free, wild and untamed. With every note we break the mold, a symphony of rage uncontrolled. Rust in rebellion, we're forged in fire. Scrap metal soldiers rising higher in the chaos. We find our way, punk rock anthems, night and day. In the scrapyard of lost ambitions, we find strength in our dereliction. Through the rubble we see the light, we're the outcasts ready to fight. Echoes of the past can't hold us down, we wear our rust like a renegade crown. In the heart of chaos we're born anew, scrap metal punks, fierce and true. Rust in rebellion, we're forged in fire. Scrap metal soldiers rising higher in the chaos. We find our way, punk rock anthems, night and day. From the scrapyard's edge, we scream our song. Rust and rebellion, we belong. With every chord we rise again, scrap metal hearts till the end. Of metal in a punk rock craze. Through the twisted frames and rusted gears, we rise from the ashes, facing our fears. Metal mayhem in the dead of night, with hearts ablaze we ignite the fight. In the ruins and wreckage we find our way, punk rock rebels here to stay. Here to stay. Dreams and shattered steel, we forge our future, our fate is real. With the clang of hammers and the beat of drums, we scream our anthem as the chaos hums. Metal mayhem in the dead of night, with hearts ablaze we ignite the fight. In the ruins and wreckage we find our way, punk rock rebels here to stay. Among the broken dreams and shattered steel, we forge our future, our fate is real. With the clang of hammers and the beat of drums, we scream our anthem as the chaos hums. From the rust we rise, with the fire in our veins. In the scrapyard's heart we break the chains. With the power of punk and the strength of steel, we fight for freedom, our spirits reveal. Metal sparks ablaze, we ignite the fight. In the ruins and wreckage, we find our way. Punk rock rebels here to stay. Whoa, here to stay. Here to stay. In the scrapyard's echo, our legacy is clear. With iron and defiance, we persevere. With the anthem of metal and the will to be free, we carve our path in history. Here to stay. Ooh, here to stay. Ooh, here to stay. Ooh, here to stay. In the scrapyard of dreams where the forgotten dwell, where the rebels of rust, we have stories to tell. Amongst the twisted metal and the shattered steel, we rise from the wreckage, our fate is sealed. Iron rebellion, under the moonlit sky, with hearts forged and fire will never die. In the midst of decay, we find our call. Punk rock warriors standing tall. Ashes and grime, we make our stand in the shadows of ruins. Iron in our hand with the clank of chains and the beat of the drum. We march through the night to the morning sun. Iron rebellion, under the moonlit sky, with heart forged and fire will never die. In the midst of decay, we find our call. Punk rock warriors standing tall. Cry in a world of despair, we reach for the sky with the spirit of punk and the strength of steel. We fight for our freedom, our fate we seal. Oh, we seal. Iron rebellion, under the moonlit sky, with heart forged and fire will never die. In the midst of decay, we find our call. Punk rock warriors standing tall. From the ashes and grime, we make our stand in the shadows of ruins. Iron in our hand with the clank of chains and the beat of the drum. We march through the night to the morning sun. Through the ashes and grime, we make our stand in the shadows of ruins. With iron in our hand. With iron in our hand. With iron in our hand. With the morning sun in the scrapyards embraced, our legacy is made. With iron in rebellion, our memories won't fade. With the power of punk and the will to be free, we carve our own path in history. Standing tall in history. Standing tall in the scrapyard's embrace, with a battle cry and a world of despair. We reach for the sky with the spirit of punk and the strength of steel. We fight for our freedom, our fate we seal. Forgotten, where the scrap heaps rise, where the junkyard warriors, fire in our eyes. Amidst the twisted wreckage and the rusted chains, we rise from the rubble, defying the pains. Junkyard rebellion, in the moonlight's gleam, with hearts of defiance, we chase the dream. In the shadows of rust, we make our stand. Punk rock fighters, reclaiming our land. Through the broken shards and the metal dust, we march through the scrapyard where the rebels trust. With the clash of iron and the roar of our cry, we fight for freedom under the open sky. Junkyard rebellion, in the moonlight's gleam, with hearts of defiance, we reclaiming our land. With the strength of steel and a vision true, with the spirit of punk and the power of the night, we forge our destiny shining bright. Junkyard rebellion in the moonlight's gleam, with hearts of defiance we chase the dream. In the shadows of rust we make our stand, punk rock fighters reclaiming our land. In the scrapyard's echo our anthem will ring, with fire and rebellions we take wing. With the heart of punk and the will to be free, we carve our path for all to see. Sleep. With the clang of metal and the roar of night, we rise from the rubble, ready to ignite. Rebel Strap Symphony in the moon's cold light, with hearts of iron we start the fight. In the shadows of steel we find our call, punk rock warriors standing tall. The broken dreams, we walk the line where reality screams. With the screech of gears and the clash of chains, we break our bonds to fly in the pains. Rebel Scrap Symphony in the moon's cold light, with hearts of iron we start the fight. In the shadows of steel we find our call, punk rock warriors standing tall. Scrapyard's heart we find what's true. With the power of punk and the will to defy, we carve our path, reaching for the sky. Rebel Scrap Symphony in the moon's cold light, with hearts of iron we start the fight. In the shadows of steel we find our call, punk rock warriors standing tall. In the scrapyard's heart we find what's true. With the power of punk and the will to defy, we carve our path, reaching for the sky. Rebel Scrap Symphony in the moon's cold light, with hearts of iron we start the fight. In the shadows of steel we find our call, punk rock warriors standing tall. Punk rock warriors standing tall. In the depths of despair, we rise anew. In the scrapyard's heart, we find what's true. With the power of punk and the will to defy, we carve our path, reaching for the sky. Standing tall. Where the old machines rest, where the punks of the scrapyard, the ones who never confess. With the screech of metal as sparks in our eyes, we rise from the wreckage where rebellion lies. Revolt and rust in a world so cold, with hearts of fire we break the mold. In the shadows rock soldiers ready to ignite. Through the twisted frames and shattered dreams, we navigate the chaos where nothing's as it seems. With the clang of the hammer and the roar of the fight, we forge our future in the dead of night. Born rust in a world so cold, with hearts of fire we break the mold. In the shadows of decay we find our might, punk rock soldiers ready to ignite. From the depths of despair we claw our way, in the scrapyard's embrace we seize the day. With the strength of steel and the will to be free, we carve our destiny in the debris. With oil rust in a world so cold, with hearts of fire we break the mold. In the shadows of decay we find our might, punk rock soldiers ready to ignite. Through the twisted flames and shattered dreams, we navigate the chaos where nothing's as it seems. With the clang of the hammer and the roar of the fight, we forge our future in the dead of night. Through the twisted flames and shattered dreams, we navigate the chaos where nothing's as it seems. With the clang of the hammer and the roar of the fight, we forge our future in the dead of night. From the depths of despair we claw our way, in the scrapyard's embrace we seize the day. With the strength of steel and the will to be free, we carve our destiny in the dead of night. From the depths of despair we claw our way, in the scrapyard's embrace we seize the day. With the scrapyard's embrace we seize the day. We forge our future in the debris we ignite. In the debris we ignite. Punk rock soldiers ready to ignite. Amongst the piles of metal, under the darkened skies, we rise from the wreckage with fire in our eyes. Rust punk revolution in the dead of night, with hearts of rebellion we ignite the fight. In the land of debris we find our way, punk rock renegades here to stay. Chaos we will outlast, with the clang of chains and the crash of dreams. We're the warriors of iron, tearing at the seam. Rust punk revolution in the dead of night, with hearts of rebellion we ignite the fight. In the land of debris we find our way, punk rock renegades here to stay. To defy, we fight for our freedom under the sky. Rust punk revolution in the dead of night, with hearts of rebellion we ignite the fight. In the land of debris we find our way, punk rock renegades here to stay. God's embrace, we break the chains. With the spirit of punk and the strength to defy, we fight for our freedom under the sky. Rust punk revolution in the dead of night, with hearts of rebellion all to see. I'm Turkish. Machines die, we rise from the ruins under a blood-red sky. With the screech of steel and the pulse of the night, we are the rebels ready to ignite. Rusted revolt in the scrapyard's embrace. With hearts of rebellion, we set the pace. In the world of debris, we find our voice. Punk rock fighters, we make the choice. Through the twisted frames and shattered glass, we walk the path where legends pass. With the clang of chains and the clash of dreams, we're the outlaws tearing at the seams. Rusted revolt in the scrapyard's embrace. With hearts of rebellion, we set the pace. In the world of debris, we find our voice. Punk rock fighters, we make the choice. Scrapyard shadows, we find what's true. With the spirit of punk and the strength of iron, we forge our fate as the flames burn higher. Rusted revolt in the scrapyard's embrace. With hearts of rebellion, we set the pace. In the world of debris, we find our voice. Punk rock fighters, we make the choice. In the scrapyard's echo, our legacy stands. With iron and defiance in our hands. With the anthem of rust and the will to be free, we carve our destiny for all to see. In the graveyard of steel, where the old bones lay, where the punks of the scrapyard, the ones who won't obey. With the screech of metal and the spark of fire, we rise from the wreckage fueled by desire. Scrap metal riot in the dead of night. With hearts of fury, we ignite the fight. In the shadows of rust, we find our call. Punk rock rebels, we stand tall. Through the wreck and the ruin, we make our mark. In the scrapyard's gloom, we light the spark. With the clang of hammers and the roar of the streets, we're the warriors of iron with rebellious beats. Scrap metal riot in the dead of night. With hearts of fury, we ignite the fight. In the shadows of rust, we find our call. Punk rock rebels, we stand tall. iron in our veins. In the scrapyard's embrace, we break the chains. With the spirit of punk and the strength to defy, we fight for our freedom under the sky. Scrap metal riot in the dead of night. With hearts of fury, we ignite the fight. In the shadows of rust, we find our call. Punk rock rebels, we stand tall. In the scrapyard's anthem, our legacy is clear. With iron and rebellion, we persevere. With the power of punk and the will to be free, we carve our destiny for all to see. Metal, where the junk heaps rise, we're the children of the scrapyard, with fire in our eyes. Through the clanging clatter in the cold hard night, we forge our destiny, we're ready for the fight. Scrap metal symphony echoes in the dark. Punk rock warriors leaving our mark. In the rust and ruin, we find our song. With hearts of iron, we'll carry on. Shattered dreams and broken gears in the junkyard haze, we rise from the rubble, setting the world ablaze. In the chorus of chaos, our voices ring clear. In the land of the lost, we conquer our fear. Scrap metal symphony echoes in the dark. Punk rock warriors leaving our mark. In the rust and ruin, we find our song. With hearts of iron, we'll carry on. We'll carry on. Shattered dreams and broken gears in the junkyard haze, we rise from the rubble, setting the world ablaze. In the chorus of chaos, our voices ring clear. In the land of the lost, we'll conquer our fear. Scrap metal symphony echoes in the dark. Punk rock warriors leading our mark. In the rust and ruin, we find our song. With hearts of iron, we'll carry on. From the ashes of the past, we build anew. With every striking spark, our spirits grew. In the symphony of steel, we find our place. In this world of debris, we'll set the pace. Scrap metal symphony, we stand tall. Through the wreckage and ruin, keep the call. With fists of fury and hearts so bold, our story in metal forever told. Never told. fire in our eyes. Amongst the twisted wreckage in the cold dark night, we rise from the shadows, ready for the fight. Scrap metal uprising in the scrapyard's light. With hearts of defiance, we ignite the night. In the land of ruins, we find our call. Punk rock warriors standing tall. Through broken dreams and shattered steel, we forge our destiny. Our fate is real. With the clash of iron and the roar of our cries, we stand united under stormy skies. Scrap metal uprising in the scrapyard's light. With hearts of defiance, we ignite the night. In the land of ruins, we find our call. Punk rock warriors standing tall. From the wreckage we rise, with spirits unchained. In the scrapyard's heart, our legacy remains. With the power of punk and the will to fight, we carve our future through the darkest night. Scrap metal uprising in the scrapyard's light. With hearts of defiance, we ignite the night. In the land of ruins, we find our call. Punk rock warriors standing tall. Scrapyards echo, anthem ring. With iron and rebellion, we'll make history sing. With the strength of punk and the drive to be free, we write our story for all to see. The children of chaos, the outcast, the blessed. With the clatter of metal and the roar of the night, we rise from the shadows, ready to fight. Scrapyard anthem echoing through the waste. With hearts of rebellion, we'll set the pace. In the land of the broken, we find our voice. Punk rock renegades, we make the choice. Scrapyard's labyrinth, we seize the day. With the crash of the cymbals and the scream of the strings, we're the rebels of iron, the forgotten kings. Scrapyard anthem echoing through the waste. With hearts of rebellion, we'll set the pace. In the land of the broken, we find our voice. Punk rock renegades, we make the choice. From the ashes we arise with the fire in our soul. In the scrapyard's embrace we take control. With the power of punk and the force of our will, we stand unbroken, defiant still. Scrapyard anthem echoing through the waste. With hearts of rebellion, we'll set the pace. In the land of the broken, we find our voice. Punk rock renegades, we make the choice. From the ashes ashes we rise with the fire in our soul. In the scrapyard's embrace we take control. With the power of punk and the force of our will, we stand unbroken, defiant still. From the ashes we rise with the fire in our soul. In the scrapyard's embrace we take control. With the power of punk and the force of our will, we stand unbroken, defiant still. In the scrapyard's chorus our legacy remains. With iron and defiance we break the chains. With the rhythm of punk and the strength to be free, we carve our own destiny for all to see. Yeah, for all to see. Yeah. In the heart of the scrapyard, where the melodies cold, where the rebels of iron, our story unfolds. Amidst the rust and ruin, we find our place. With hearts made of steel, we'll set the pace. Steel heart rebellion under starless skies. With fire in our veins, we'll never die. In the wasteland of dreams, we find our fight. Punk rock outcasts, shining bright. Through the piles of debris and the twisted frames, we forge our future in freedom's name. With the clash of metal and the roar of the night, we stand together, ready to ignite. Steel heart rebellion under starless skies. With fire in our veins, we'll never die. In the wasteland of dreams, we find our fight. Punk rock outcasts, shining bright. Through wreckage we rise with unbroken will. In the scrapyard's embrace, we're standing still. With the spirit of punk and the strength of steel, we fight for freedom, our fate is real. Steel heart rebellion under starless skies. With fire in our veins, we'll never die. In the wasteland of dreams, we find our fight. Punk rock outcasts, shining bright. In the scrapyard's anthem, our legacy is clear. With iron and defiance, we persevere. With the power of punk and the will to be free, we carve our destiny for all to see.